So, world is going through a transformation and it's happening in many verticals. From data-driven lives to some crazy AI stuff, transformation is taking place in each and every industry. I'm sure you will agree with me that the biggest transformation is taking place in transportation. From EVs to supersonic jets to flying cars, we have heard it all in the past 5 years. But guess what? There is one common factor in each one of those transformations, and those are batteries. That's exactly what we'll talk about today, where I will dissect ABML or ABTC's recent investor deck and show you some of the major points that might not stand out at the first glance, but I'm sure after watching this video, you will also get as excited as I am. And we are starting right now. So the most recent SEC filing, ABTC presented some facts and figures which are amazing to look at, but if you study them deeply, then you realize how big is this industry and what kind of potential we are talking here. Let me share my screen, and I have divided this presentation into two parts. First, I'll talk about the investor deck and few key items, and then towards the end, I'll share my thoughts on where I see the stock moving from here. So on your screen is a slide from the investor deck. I'm gonna enlarge it here, right here. And one of the things that stands out is that ABTC will be the first domestic source of lithium, nickel, etc. for the US, right here. First premier domestic source of lithium, nickel, cobalt, and magnesium for United States. That's massive because US still depends 99% on foreign countries to supply these materials, which is a big issue. And that is why our president's administration or Biden's administration is spending billions of dollars to reduce this dependency. ABTC will also be country's first non-thermal, which is they mentioned over here, right here, first non-thermal battery recycling plant in the US, which means that it'll be using non-fossil energy sources such as sun, water, wind to recycle batteries, which is what's needed if we are aiming for net zero, and also a huge win for, of course, Department of Energy. That's why they gave them grant. So I'm really excited to read this line. Again, this is nothing major, but none of the other recycling plants or recycling manufacturers are aiming for this, which is really exciting. So now let's look at the second slide. This is where they're talking about that how EV sales will grow from 2% right now of the total automotive sales to about 68% by 2040. Now, I have covered this in the previous video where I've stated that a big auto supercycle is coming, and I feel that the numbers are over here are conservative. But for the presentation, let's look at their numbers. So they are saying that we are going to go from 1.7 million EVs, which is right here, to about 65 million EVs in 2040. But you know what? 2040 is too far. Forget 2040. Let's pay attention to 2030. Right here in 2030, they're saying they will go from 2 million, 1.7 million to about 28 million. That's insane growth. And I 100% agree with them. They're estimating in 2040, 68%. In my opinion, the only cars that will be selling in 2040 will be the old cars or the used car that will have a ICE engine or a combustion engine. All other new vehicles, in my opinion, will be EVs by 2040. Again, my opinion only. So this brings to our next point, which is that by 2030, they're estimating that the demand for battery metals will grow by 600% right here. Very realistic expectation, especially for metals like copper and aluminum right here. If you see those big blue and light blue lines, that's copper and aluminum. Now, I feel that the demand for copper and aluminum is growing over time, which is in line with what Tesla has said during the battery day, and that is why they are getting away with cobalt right here. Tesla to make EV battery cathodes without cobalt. So their new 4680 cells will not be using any cobalt. So I feel that ABTC or ABML is in line with, of course, the future of the batteries. So now we have clearly established the case for demand, and we know that demand will not be a problem. But why ABML is set to take advantage of this bull run in batteries? For that, let's look at some of the other major issues US is facing right now. So in this slide, I'm going to show you right here very clearly, and it's of course from their deck, you can see that majority of the battery related stuff is happening in China and few other countries, of course, right here, 80%, 50 over here, 68 over here. It's like different parts divided. Now, 80% is concentrated in China and remaining in few other countries. So US only has 1% right here, only produces 1% of the global battery materials, which is a huge problem for US. I mean, US is lagging behind in the EV transformation, and China saw it coming, which is kind of sad because the company that started the EV revolution is in US, and we failed to see the future, but China did, and they adopted. Look, right from their slide, you can see over here, China spent almost $60 billion in EV industry. and US so far has only spent $150 million. You see the gap there. So there is a huge gap between 60 billion and of course 150 million. But the new push from the new administration, I think this number is going to change very rapidly and very quickly, and so does the EV incentives, in my opinion. So in the next chart, ABML is talking about lithium ion batteries and what is available for recycle. Right here, I'm going to show you. So they are saying that right now, to what's available right now, to what will be available by 2035, 500% increase, because the end-of-life cars will be getting there, and then that's why more and more cars will come and more recycling or raw material for recycling will be available. I feel they're missing a big part here, because in this chart they are showing, if you look over here, so if you look at the graph, I'm going to blow it up. Yeah, okay, so if you look at the graph, they are showing very small percentage for stationary storage right here. So if you see that green line here, I know it's kind of blurry, but okay, so as you can see the green line over here, it's very small right here. Year over year, and in my opinion that industry will be bigger than EV in the coming years. Tesla is forming strategic partnerships. Tesla is putting their superchargers. Tesla is putting their so many battery packs, and of course Tesla solar roof, Tesla panels, solar panels, everything is so big. And Elon even said in the earnings call that Tesla energy will be bigger than Tesla auto. So I feel that ABML is undercutting this sector, which is fine as an investor, which is fine, because if this could grow as much as auto, wow, amazing, right? I mean, good for us. Okay, so I believe that company is only so strong as its team, and I truly believe that. And that brings to my next point, that ABTC has managed to get an interesting team together. If you look at the top 4 talents right here, 1, 2, 3, 4 out of 6 in building plants, they all came from Tesla. And their recent COO also has a great background suited for this industry, and I recently did a video for that. So now let's look at some of the timelines. They will be doing about 20,000 million metric tons per year. Now that's very exciting for us investors, as that is long time coming, and some of us have invested in the company for a while now, and we need to see some traction with the construction and the production. But this is really exciting to me, the graph over here. But what's really exciting to see on this graph, they're saying that by 2024 they will have a pilot plant and 1 new plant, and that is where they will scale. Now if you look at the Tesla timelines, that is when I feel GIGA Berlin and GIGA Texas will be fully operational at full capacity, producing as much as 2 million vehicles per year. Now we know that they will actually be able to scale by 2024, right when the world EV domination will increase close to 10 million from 2 million, so 5x from where we are right now. And we know that they will be able to scale by that time, which is super exciting. And one more thing, in their investment highlights, they are showing that they will be able to generate revenue by 2022, which is amazing for us investors. But in my opinion, that revenue will be there just to prove to investors that they can operate and they can produce. But the actual revenue that actually mattered to all us investors will start in 2024. That's what I think, and of course this is my opinion only. Now let's look at the chart and see what kind of price action we see in the next few months. So now this is the chart, and I always go all the way back in the time when actually ABTC or ABML started to pick steam. Now as you can see on the chart, they went all over to 490 all the way to $1 right here, and they have touched $1 like 2 or 3 times, and then when they try to come down, they find a support right here around $1.25, and from there they go up. So in my opinion, the stock price is going to be maintained in that range of between $1.50 to about $2.50 for a very long time. I would say till about Q2 of 2022. Now in my opinion, the real traction in the stock up on the upside, or the bull run for the stock, is going to come when they will actually be able to mass produce, which is going to happen around 2024, which is of course giving us investors more time to get into the stock. I really feel that the company has huge potential. They are gearing up the good team around them, and also they are doing the right thing by going net zero, by producing non-thermal plants, and also by getting the grants and getting more involved with the government. So I know that the company has a very bright future, but for us investors, and I see some comments, I read some posts, and people are getting frustrated, saying that hey, the company is not doing anything, it's a total scam. I feel the industry is so big, and this company is doing the right thing by going slow and laying up the foundation strong so they can then scale. See, I feel any company for a long time has a lot of things to capture and to win before they can actually be able to mass produce. As Elon said in one of the Tesla earnings call, that doing a prototype is easy, mass produce or mass scale is hard, and that is why it's taking them time to kind of get ready for that mass scale. If you look at the chart over here, you can see in the chart here that in 2024 they will have only one plant. Then in 2025 and 26 they will have 2 plants, and then they're talking about in 27 they will have 3 plants, and may also think about going overseas or outside US to basically to capture that market as well. So I feel that they are doing all the right things for us investors and for the stock owners, and I am pretty sure that by the time they start producing, we will have more and more analysts covering this stock. We will have more and more institutional investors looking into this stock, because the problem is just so big to solve. So after doing this particular video, and after also reviewing their deck and also where the industry is headed, the demand for batteries is going to get greater. Hence the demand for recycling is going to get even bigger. So I'm more bullish on this company now than I was before, because I feel they're working more aggressively on the technology which is going to pay them in the long run. I hope I was able to provide you some value. This is always my goal, and to support, please do click on the like button, subscribe, as it does help a lot to our small channel to go out to more viewers. Love you all. Thank you for watching. Until next time, you all have a sparkling day.